Hello, it's Chris Hynes from Wealthi. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I just wanted to run through a new opportunity that we've been presented in a place called Slough. And I'm sure for many of you listening in the UK, you know where Slough is. But if you don't know where Slough is, I'll run through a bit of an overview of where it is located in the UK, why we've identified this opportunity as a fantastic investment opportunity, and talk about some of the regeneration projects that are currently underway in the area. There's a lot happening in Slough at the moment, and we see a lot of value that will be created and added to the area in the near future, and then also drawn out over the longer term as well. So we'll run through the investment case for this one today. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Give me a call, flick me a message on LinkedIn, or click on the book now link in the description below, and I look forward to having a chat with each and every one of you. But we'll get stuck into it, and I think to start with, we will take a look at the location to give you a quick overview of where it is located. So Slough is located to the west of central London. So you're I suppose you are located pretty much in the middle of London and Reading. Your closest, you could say, major town is Windsor, which is located just to the south of Slough here. So Windsor, known for Windsor Castle, Legoland. So there's a lot that happens in Windsor itself. Then, of course, you've got Maidenhead, which is close by as well. And looking at this map as well, you can see that there's a number of hospitals within close proximity. So you've got the Wexham Park Hospital in Slough itself. You've got St Mark's Hospital in Maidenhead. And you've also got the Hillingdon Hospital or just outside of Hayes. So there's a lot of, you could say, employment hubs from a medical perspective that are close to Slough as well. In terms of transport and connectivity into central London, so this project that we're talking about today is Shaftesbury Court, which is located just here where that red mark is and my mouse is now. Then you're about a 5-minute walk to Slough train station. And at Slough train station, you've got the GWR Rail, Great Western Rail, which will connect you into central London. Now, I had a quick look at times from Slough into Paddington. And if you got on one of the faster trains, you're looking at about 15 minutes to Paddington. I understand that isn't central or the middle of London. It's not central London. But that's a great, I guess it's an easy access point and somewhere that you can get to a lot of places from. You've got a lot of tube links from Paddington itself. If you were to get on one of the slower trains with a few stops, you're looking at about half an hour into central London. But I'll run through a couple more of the stations that you can access from Slough as well later on through this video. Another point worth mentioning about Slough as well is the fact that the new Elizabeth line will be running to Slough as well. Now that's due to be completed in 2022, and that's going to help connect Slough to central London as well and really make that transport link even more efficient than what it currently is. So a fantastic opportunity there from a commutability standpoint, making it easy to get to central London. And even if you're working in Reading, it's also very accessible from Slough as well. And if we did a quick check of that now, for example, so Slough to Reading. So if you were to commute from Slough to Reading, you're looking at about a 12-minute train commute on one of the faster trains, 20 to 30 minutes, you'd say, on one of the slower trains. So fantastic connectivity there and in a very central location. And I'll run through a couple of the other locations, as mentioned, later on through this video. Now, the development itself is called Shaftesbury Court, and it is these units that you can see on the left-hand side of my screen here. So, comprises of 53 one-bedroom and two-bedroom apartments. In terms of price point, you're looking at about starting point is looking at around £240,000. In terms of rents, you're looking to generate about £9,500 a year in rental income from these properties, which equates to about a 4% rental yield. So considering that we are on the outskirts of London, we've got easy access to London, and given the price point of these apartments and the uplift that we can see in the area, I think there's a lot of value for the long run in Slough itself. We've seen the rippling effect happen in London or central London, and property prices continue to rise in the outer suburbs or the outer pockets of London itself, and we're only going to continue to see that as London continues to evolve over the future. So I think there's a fantastic opportunity here to get in at you could say, an affordable price point for London real estate. I know it's not a London postcode, but you are within commutable distance and very commutable distance to London itself. You're sitting on the outskirts of London, and there's a fantastic opportunity there. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, there is a lot happening in Slough at the moment in terms of regeneration. I found this article online, and I understand this is from January 2020, but this is a long-term plan that is being rolled out in Slough at the moment. So it's a £3 billion plan to completely transform Slough town centre. Now, I was looking into a few of the projects, and one that was worth noting, and I've written a couple points down here about, was a £500 million regeneration project that is happening in the heart of the town itself. Now, that's going to comprise of 14,000 dwellings, so 14,000 new houses, units, townhouses, but there'll be 14,000 new dwellings in Slough itself. We're going to see 45,000 square feet of retail space be created in the city centre or the town centre as well, and there's going to be an additional 250,000 square feet of commercial office space that's going to be developed in Slough as well. So that's just to name one of the projects, but we can see that there's there is a great demand for people wanting to be in that area. It's a great area to be if you do work in central London and you want to buy a property, you want to be within commutable distance and have that easy access, and this is ticking a lot of those boxes. So I think that as we see this project rolled out, as we see these regeneration projects complete in Slough, all it's going to do is drive up the price and also drive up the demand for the area as well. It's going to be a more desirable place to live. It's going to be somewhere that people can see an opportunity. It makes sense if you're also raising a family, you want to save on your expenses, you want to move slightly outside of London with being a stone's throw from the city itself. And I think there's a lot of opportunity from that standpoint as well. So I think that these projects are really going to help drive demand for Slough, but also drive up the prices due to that demand as well. Now, diving back into this brochure, so I mentioned that I would run through connectivity into central London in a little bit more detail. So as I mentioned, there is the Crossrail Elizabeth line, which will be opening in 2022, which is going to be fantastic for both London but also Slough itself. It's really going to help that commutability standpoint. It is very easy to get to, but it's going to be able to connect you to more places in central London as well. You've already got a lot of amenity. You've got retail, you've got your cafes, your restaurants, your shops in the Slough city centre. As I mentioned, with these regeneration projects, they're going to revitalise a lot of these central locations in the town as well, create new shops, new recreational spaces, and really drive that retail scene in Slough itself. In terms of commutability into London, and this is the Elizabeth line, is to my understanding times on the Elizabeth line into central London and also out to Reading. So Reading on the Elizabeth line, you're looking at 21 minutes. Maidenhead, you're looking at about 9 minutes. Now, you've got Heathrow Airport, which is also very, very close to Slough as well. I'll just show you on this map quickly. So Shaftesbury Court is here, and Heathrow Airport is just down the road as well. So fantastic access to the airport, which means you can get international, you can get overseas very easily, which is a fantastic bonus as well. So 70 minutes on the Elizabeth line to Heathrow, looking at about 28 minutes to Paddington, Bond Street in 32 minutes, Liverpool Street in just under 40 minutes, Whitechapel 42, and Canary Wharf in 46. And for those of you that live in London at the moment and maybe commuting into work as it stands, my current commute is about the 25-30 minute mark, and I think for a lot of people you are generally looking at about that 20 to 40 minutes of commuting, even if you are in central London. So I think that having that connectivity to places like Bond Street to Liverpool Street within 40 minutes, I think that's a massive, massive bonus, and we're going to see a lot of people potentially moving out to places like Slough that are connected along this new Elizabeth line, which is going to add a lot of value to these areas that are on that route as well. Now, houses in same postcodes as Crossrail stations, as you can see on the right, are expected to increase in value over the next 4 years by 60%. So you can really see the value that these train lines add to the areas once they are completed as well. Now, in terms of the product, these are just a few pictures on the left here of the project itself. So the project is now completed, and it is also tenanted, and it's this is where it gets interesting, I suppose. So they're currently tenanted by the government. They're on government-backed guarantees until 2023. You then have the option to extend that guarantee, or you can privately rent it out as well. But it means that if you purchased one of these properties, say you bought one of the one beds for £240,000, you're going to have a rental income coming in almost immediately. So that's a fantastic bonus as well. It's ready to go. It's being serviced by the government. It's a strong, reputable name. You know that you're going to get your rent on time every month, and you won't have any issues on that front. So I think that's a fantastic bonus as well, and representing just under a 4% rental yield as well. I think that's a fantastic opportunity. We're going to see increases in rents continually over the next 12 and 24 months as well, as we've all experienced over the past 12 months. Rents over the last year have increased by 8.7%. I mentioned briefly the lack of supply in the area, or in London and the UK as well, and people have more demand for rental properties at the moment. And given the lack of available rental properties, we're going to continue to see rents increase, I think, for the next 12 to 24 months. So that's a massive bonus for investors. Now, I suppose that is practically the bones of this opportunity. We think it's a fantastic opportunity. I really like this one. I think it's an awesome project, an awesome area. I think we're going to see a lot of value increases in the area as well. There's just a couple floor plans here on the right hand side of my screen that give you a bit of an idea of the layout. So this first plan you can see on the left hand side is a one bedroom. So you walk in your front door on your right hand side of the plan. You've got your open plan kitchen, living room, and then your bedroom and bathroom on the back side of the property as well. And then your two bedrooms, you walk in downstairs, so just where my mouse is now, and you've got a staircase up to the master bedroom upstairs, which has you could say it's an ensuite. There is a door between the bath, or two doors between the bathroom and the bedroom, but essentially a private quarters upstairs. And then downstairs you've got your second bedroom, open plan living, and your kitchen as well. So gives you a bit of an idea of the product. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I think there's a lot of value in this project, and I think we'll see a lot of value over the long term as well, and even in the short term, given that the Elizabeth line will be completed in 2022, and as mentioned, you're looking at price increases of up to 60% on a lot of these areas that will benefit from the Elizabeth line as well. So fantastic uplift there, and you'll see a lot of growth in the near future as well. But as always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. More than happy to have a chat, and I look forward to hearing from you all very soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you.